First, it's very important to understand that the root of the humanitarian crisis is a dictatorship. It's Maduro. It's not the war or it's not an environmental disaster. It's Maduro.
Not true. Maduro was and is a catalyst for the crisis, but the roots go deeper than him. He was a nobody until Chavez made him vice president. The roots are Chavez himself and the Cuban military occupation, which Chavez himself ushered in. According to a top-notch investigation by the Foundation for Human Rights in Cuba, at any given moment, there are around 45,000 Cuban soldiers in Venezuela, with most of them wearing either Venezuelan uniforms or civilian clothes, and even trained to speak in Venezuelan dialects. There are Cubans at every military base in the country, ensuring the Venezuelan soldiers don't rebel. The thousands of Cuban doctors and medical support staff working in Venezuela are reserve soldiers and national militiamen. The 30,000 other civilian advisors that Havana has working in Venezuela are members of the Committees for the Defense of the Revolution, one of the Cuban Communist Party's hybrid militias and neighborhood spy organizations that help the regime keep control of the island. The Venezuelan dissident Lawrence Saleh recalls hearing Cuban accents among his torturers during the 4 years he was underground in the helicoid. There are hundreds of Cubans physically guarding Maduro at any moment, in addition to the Venezuelan presidential guards. That's the root of the present situation in Venezuela. It's a Cuban colony that serves as a base to grow and expand organized crime, Marxist insurgencies, and far-left political parties across all of Latin America. As I said, one of the main roots of this evil, sickly tree is Chavez himself, who wanted to be Fidel Castro 2.0 and turn Venezuela into a revolutionary state like Cuba. That's why it grinds my gears to hear Leopoldo's wife saying in speeches that what's happening in Venezuela today is not what Chavez wanted for his people.
Maduro no es Chávez, y Maduro rompió con el legado que le dejó Chávez. Y ese es el descontento que tenemos todos los venezolanos. Los chavistas, no me lo puedo imaginar, el dolor que pueden sentir. Y los que no somos chavistas, pues también sentimos una gran frustración, porque el legado no lo continuó.
Well, yes, it is what Chavez wanted for his people. He never trusted the people again after he lost his beloved reform referendum of 2007. As early as 2002, he tried to start a civil war in the capital, which got him briefly removed from power. Then he got government funding for the paramilitary collectives. Plus, he started building a parallel army that answered only to him, which became the National Militia, built on the Cuban model. He locked up incorruptible public servants like Judge Maria Afiuni and subjected them to all kinds of physical and sexual violence. He used the Ministry of Justice to chase journalists like Patricia Poleo out of the country. He promised Fidel Castro a 40-year collaboration between Venezuela and Cuba, and gave safe haven to the FARC and ELN. Turning Venezuela into a Marxist state with a military strongman and an economy that leaves people too poor for dissident political activity is exactly what Chavez wanted for his people. The Lopezes know this, yet they still pander and say the line that Chavez never wanted this. The only reason that they would be pandering like this is if they're trying to get votes. So $5 says Leopoldo wants to run for president in 2024.